Here we go. It's starting to look like this guy, isn't it? He's looking pretty good. So right now I'm working on the ground and I'm trying to get, it's kind of one of these things where I don't really know exactly what the ground should look like, right? It's one of those parts of the thing you're working on you just don't know. So I think this is probably going to be it. I'm still deciding what I'm going to put on this sign. And right now I'm thinking, welcome to Atlanta. But I don't really know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Fanta? What's up? Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put on that sign, to be honest with you. Right now I've got it saying, Atlanta next exit or something like that. But it might be something cooler than that I could put on there. Like, I don't know. One of those crazy groups they ran into in the beginning, which is when I liked the show, right? Something like, I know Negan had his group and there was the Colony and there were some crazy people. I don't. If you have suggestions as to what would go on that sign, that would be cool. I don't really know. I'll be honest with you. At this point, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. But I want something there so people that, you'll have a thing in front of you that says something cool, basically. That's really the idea. Just have something cool on the figure, right? For most of you people, that looks insane. That looks like craziness. You don't know what the heck because of all the vertices and stuff, but it is crazy too. It's a crazy thing. Anyway, so let's see. I'm going to delete that. I was just working on his shirt. Back into the sculpting program. I'm going to take that. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, tank top. Yep, Merle's tank top. Let's see. There we go. There it is. And I don't know. I think this kind of looks like Merle. I had to zombify him, right? And I put some dirt on his face. Because you have to have that stuff. You got to have some things that it can't be just spinning image of him and as a normal guy, because that doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm gonna give a thickness to this sweater, this tank top he's got on, like that, right? Like that. All right, that looks good. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. Here's his arm. I'm going to grab his arm. And I built his mechanical arm. And I'll show you that in a second. People watching. It actually was not that hard. I'm going to tell you, that was one of the simpler things to make, is his mechanical arm. Right? Something like that. Yeah, that Terminus, that's a good one. I like that. I forgot all about Terminus. So I was gonna do the spray paint for sure. And so yeah, it's tricky because you can't. So what I would do is I would give like a small. I'm gonna just turn the edges on so you can see it. So I would give this like a super small bump, right? And then I would have the spray paint as like a blob, because you have to think in terms of 3D, right? So it works. Right? And then it would have his spray paint. It says Terminus or something. Welcome to Atlanta, and put it in spray paint, an arrow, and it says Terminus, or however you spell it. However, right? Yeah, Terminus is probably a good way to do it. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Um, right. Okay, wait. I can't get sidetracked. Let me just pull this in. Well, arm. Here we go. Let's give it this right here. Boom. There we go. And I still have to add a lot of things like dirt on his shoes, right? Um, I want to add a ton of stuff like that. So it looks like I want to add a tread on the back of his shoe. I need to do that actually, but I want to add dirt like right here. Maybe dirt drooping off, right? So it looks like he just peeled his foot off the ground. To me, stuff like that is up. I don't like stuff like that. Um, let's see. Let's just see. I'm gonna render this and see what it looks like. The camera's blown out, so it's a hard time seeing this, but you know, maybe it'll work. Sometimes if I zoom in, it doesn't get blown out. It's kind of blown out. Yeah, it's not that blown out in the render. It's just my webcam that's doing it. But you kind of get the idea. Son of a gun. Tell you what, instead of doing that, what if I make this darker? This is a palette inside 3ds Max. So this is how you color things and make them shiny and less shiny and bumpy or whatever. Um, you get the idea. Let's see if that's better. Whoa, it's really blown out still. There you go. That's a little bit better, right? That's how it really looks in the render. And then the camera without the camera messing it up. Super shiny. It's not going to be that shiny, right? There we go. It's not too bad. It's looking pretty good. I think that's looking pretty freaking good. Right. And I got dirt on the back of his head right there, which is kind of cool. With 3D, I could add dirt coming off his hand from the ground, but I don't want to make this area into like a crazy web or something. It's going to look crazy when it does that. And it won't print. It'll be a pain in the ass to deal with. So I won't do that. But you get the idea. I think you get it. There we go. Much better. Okay. So let's add this dirt peeling off the back. Let's do it. Right? There we go. Oh, son of a gun. Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's do the terminus thing right now while I'm thinking about it. Like that. Make it the same thickness, which is pretty. Wow. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. That's a bit much. Boom, boom, boom. And let's move it up like that. Something like that. Okay. Ah. Okay, stop. Like that. I guess that's decently centered, you know? I guess I have to make room for the two. Make it say two. What the fuck? Oh, I see. That's what it is. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. That's good. Okay, welcome to. All right, let's see. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. Right. I gotta do that. Rotate this guy. Boom. Like that. Right? Fuck. Everything's gotta be pushed over. Alright, well. I mean, okay. It doesn't look like it's not centered. The text isn't centered. Go this way. Right. That's not gonna work. It'd be a pain in the butt. You don't want that. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Grab everything over here. And I'm gonna pull it like that. Now it's a little bit more centered. A little bit. Son of a bitch. Still not enough. Okay. Let's do this right there. Let's move this in a little bit, which is okay. We can do that. That's better. I think that's probably better. You know, perfection is unattainable. Okay. Welcome to Atlanta. And I'm going to get rid of some of that. Right. Okay. And then I've got to put terminus on top of it. So I don't know. It's going to be tricky. Terminus on top of that's going to be really tricky. Right. Like that. Like that. See, you want to be able to read both the graffiti on top and these letters. And none of them are supposed to really have thickness. Letters don't like this, don't have thickness on the sign, right? They're usually just paint, you know? So it's tricky. How do you make it look right? I think that's probably look right. I'm going to save while I can. So the other thing I have to do, which I haven't figured out how to do yet, is how I'm going to break this thing up when I print it. I have not. Normally, I would print something. Let's get rid of this. I would print something. Always one, you know. So there's no thing, but there's no way that this crossbow is gonna. It's gonna be a problem. Oh, what? There we go. That crossbow is gonna be a big problem. It's gonna be too fragile to print as one chunk. So I gotta figure out how to do it in pieces. Maybe I'll have it stick in his hand. Maybe I would do his hand as a thing that you would put together, you know? I don't know. It's really hard to say how to do that. I might have to do it and test it and see because yeah, it's kooky. It's a kooky thing. You don't really know until you do it, I think, is really the answer. You see what I'm saying? All right. So let's do. Yeah. Let's delete this. And let's get the new ground. Right. There we go. Super dense. That's what all those vertices are. That's what that looks crazy to people like you. You just don't get it. You're not used to it. Okay. Do a quick render just to see what is actually going on. This is not that you guys would really get into it, but this is a GPU renderer. Instead of using your PC, it uses your video card, so it renders things way faster. This is how they make movies, and all the CG is so much more powerful these days. They use GPU rendering. It's like vastly faster. So, yeah, it is what it is. But there you go. Welcome to Atlanta. Okay. I think what I've got to do, and I can't help it, but I've got to get this text, and I have to bring it into Mudbox so I can see how that mud goes, because I don't want that covering too much of it up. I don't want to do that, but I have to do it. So to do it, I'm gonna put a little thing on here. Okay. Right, you guys don't know. Everything in 3D kind of takes forever. And people don't really know that because there's no reason why they would know it. Right? It's one of those things. Let's delete this old sign. And let's bring in this new sign. Add to current scene. It's going to tell me it's messed up, which it is. There we go. Okay, so let's lock all this stuff because I'm going to do the dirt. There we go. You kind of get the idea, right? I don't want that too much. The terminus text is going to cover it up, so I don't want too much of this dirt on there, right? It's already going to have one thing covering it up, so maybe what I'll do is I'll use it as a lower element, like down here or something, that kind of like frames it, right? Maybe something up top. I mean, yeah. Get rid of it here. Right. You know, this hill thing, I could just sit here and sculpt it for like a week and come up with different ways of making it work and whatever. It's crazy. It never ends, you know. It never something like this. And I mean, at least a shoe, you know when the shoe is done, right? You know when the shoe is finished. But this stuff right here, you're never gonna know. Let's do it like that. Let's have a little thing like that over down the bottom. All right, something like that. Maybe fill this up a little bit for the 3D printer so it doesn't get stupid. Right? It's close enough. It's gotta be crazy 3D printing this thing. I'm just telling you right now. I have no idea how it's gonna go. And it's already a kooky process, 3D printing. So right, you kind of don't want gaps, right? You don't want gaps in your 3D print. So here we go. Welcome to Atlanta. It's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky doing terminus on top of that thing. Right? I mean, I don't know. All right, let's just try it. Let me export it again. Bring it into 3ds Max. All right. Delete that. Bring in the new one. Make it gray so I can see everything clearer. Right. All right, you kind of get the idea, right? You get the idea. Okay, welcome to terminus with an arrow pointing, which is Fanta's suggestion, right? That's gonna be cool as hell, but I gotta figure out how to do it, because I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try it this way first before anything else. I think you kind of want the Terminus text to look like it's obviously handwritten, graffiti-esque, right? But it's a tricky deal. It's a tricky deal. As we say in the Midwest. Let's see. Let's do that. I think Sign Painter is a pretty good font for something like this. And don't ask me how I know that. Right? That's kind of okay, not that one. Yeah, see, that's too fake. That looks like it's manufactured, right? I mean, these all look like they're not that they're manufactured. I guess that's not right then. What would be a good handwriting font? That's obviously not good. It's hard to see. These little icons are so small, right? That's not going to work. There's got to be better handwritten fonts. If anybody knows a handwritten font that's good, right? Type it in there, because I mean, that's ridiculous. You'll never even read the stupid thing. A lot of these hand ones are like that. You can't really understand. You can't read them. Right? You can't read that thing. It sucks. Right? That sucks. Graffiti. Yeah, that's a good one right there. It'll read really easy. I like that one. That's a good one. See? They look ridiculous. They look freaking ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, fuck. What the fuck? No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. No. God, these are so small, harder to see it. Fucking ridiculous. Look at that. I mean, give me a break. There's like one application for that font. Give me a break. It's got, at least I want to start with the font, right? That still doesn't look real. I'll tell you what I'm probably going to end up doing. I know I'm going to end up doing this. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to end up doing it. Is I'm going to see if I can find a sample of this from the frame grab from the show. What's up, Jungle Piggy? Welcome to Woodbury. Yeah, Woodbury is good, but you know, it doesn't have the ominous tone. Right? What's up, Kay? That's the only thing about Woodbury. It sounds like too down home happy, right? Terminus, that's ridiculous too, right? I mean, what I'm gonna end up doing, I bet you, is just finding a still frame from the thing, and then outlining it myself letter per letter, which is freaking ridiculous. I'm just telling you. But you know, I'm not gonna do this thing and then end up with one stupid looking spot, right? You want to do it right, and it's worth it. It's worth it to do it right in my mind. Right. You guys just came in. I should kind of show you what it looks like so far. Why did these keep turning back on? Go away. I don't know if you can see him there. I've got his arm. I built his arm yesterday in 3D. So I think that's looked pretty good. I mean, it was not complicated to actually make that happen, to make this thing work. But this is going to be mud coming off the boot. Let's hide it over here. But anyway, so that's kind of where it is now. It's quite a bit. I mean, I can't tell you how much time I spent on this. This crossbow alone probably spent 3 days. 3 days making the crossbow. You know, not that people want to know, but that's kind of what you do. A lot of things in 3D are not simple, and some things are. And, you know, everything has its pros and cons, I guess, right? All right. That's not going to work. What? That's the closest we've gotten. That's so far, that is the best one. Right there. I'm not saying that's going to be it, but I'm just telling you, that is the best one so far. That one's not bad either, even though it looks very manufactured, right? But so if I do that, I can save it. These freehand fonts are pretty good. They're gone. All the good ones are gone. Okay. No. I mean, this is kind of what it takes. You have to just go, oh, thanks, Kay. I appreciate it. That's awfully cool of you to say. Going through fonts. Got a shitload of fonts. I got 20 years of fonts, right? So I don't know if you just tuned in. What I'm trying to do is put, Fana had a really cool idea to put Terminus on here in spray paint. So I'm looking for a hand written font that looks like it is handwritten, not manufactured. And I think having that style done correctly is going to be an important thing. So, and I don't really have a lot of good, I mean, I got thousands of fonts, but I don't have a lot of good hand. See, that's too graffiti, you know? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's just dumb. Yeah, see, you can't even read that one. Yeah. Yeah, these aren't going to work. These are just not going to work. I mean, that's a comic book type. Comic book font, right? I mean, you know, that's not going to work. I could do it and then adjust it, right? But that might even be more work than it's worth. That's more work than it's worth. Because it still might not end up looking right. Son of a gun. Yeah, that's no way. You can dink around with this stuff forever. Let me just tell you something. Let's see. Okay, that's not gonna, I mean, that's probably better than this one here if I have to start choosing them. Right? But it still looks fake. It still looks freaking fake. Let's see. Okay. Okay. We all locked up. locked up on this stupid font. Okay, here we go. Okay. There we go. Right. Sometimes these fonts are mega complicated, and when you bump onto them, they take forever. Right. But that's not fucking ridiculous. Okay. I'm starting to think that I'm just gonna have to hand do it. That's it. If I was really creative, what I would do is I would get spray paint out and I would spray paint something like that says this, and then I'll use that as the template as to what it should look like, right? But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Terminus. Yeah, I think that's the end of my fonts. I don't think I've got one that's gonna work. They look too fake. All right. Let me look for one. Let me look for something online that says Terminus. No Sanctuary. That's another cool one. I don't see it written. Oh, I got you. It's not spray painted. It's like a poster or something. Right. Yeah, right. It's not a thing. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this in Illustrator and bring it in. I think that's probably the best way to do it because I can try to handwrite it. If it doesn't work, I'll try a different way. Right? The way I like to do it is to type it out. And then use that as a template. And, right? Like that. I know, yeah, right. Yeah, do it myself will be better. It probably is true. And you got to do it the way you think it's going to work, right? That's kind of my motto: is to do things, even if it takes longer, to do them the way I think it should be done. And if you can see, you go, you know what? I just do this in a matter of time. It will be done. There we go. Okay. Okay. Stop it. All right. I mean, that's it. There's worse things in the world. I can try it again to see if it's different. Maybe I can bump it around, make it more readable, put it closer together, like that. Is that even readable? I guess it doesn't really matter if it is. I mean, it does matter. I mean, let's just face it, it does matter. But does it? It's got to look like it. It can't be too readable because that would be fake looking, right? So something like that where I stagger the letters a little bit. I like that more, and it makes it more readable, right? All right. Let's delete this because I don't have it anymore. I'm going to save this. All my sculpts. Save it. Okay, let's just delete these things. Right. You guys can hardly see it because the camera. There we go. It's a little easier to see. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it might work. I know not many people do this the way I'm doing it. Using Adobe Illustrator this way and bringing stuff in. I like it. It's an old way of doing it. You know. All right, so there it is. Let's see if it came in all screwed up, totally messed up. Oh, I see. That's why. There we go. Right. Boom. Kind of cool when it does that. You can just place it right on top there. That's going to be tricky conforming it, but it'll work. Okay. Let's it's making it totally massive. Right? Totally massive. And let's do this. Grab all these vertices and I'm going to make them smooth. Ooh, like that. Right? This is 3D, it's not 2D, so it's a different ball game. I'm just telling you, it's a different ball game. You have to make things feel, construct things differently. It's just part of the process. Right. What I'm going to end up doing is, once I get it where I want it, I'm going to soften everything. And it'll look like it's blobby, like a paint thing. But right now, I'm not doing that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what. No, I probably don't need to do that. I can probably do this. Son of a gun. Something like that. Right? This is the way it works. Unless you have big studio software, right? No. There we go. Not too bad. Boom. Stop moving around. Right? I'm just getting it in place. So that it works. I know it's like, for you guys, it's like watching paint dry, right? But it is what it is. That's the way it has to go. Yeah, see, this one's all messed up. This has got a thing like that. Tricky stuff. Let me just tell you. Not everything works. You could spend a lot of time on something like this, and then in the end, it doesn't work. You go, fuck, I thought it was going to work, and I had a great idea, and it does not work the way you think it's going to work. And you spend a ton of time on it, and it's just the way it's going to be. Right? It's part of the process. I don't need that one. Right? Let me grab the whole thing. The whole thing can come down like that. Right? It's getting closer. Son of a gun. Right? Now let's do this. Do the whole thing. That's going to be a tricky one because that sign is bent. Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing. Right? And it's because of this dirt. So I got to lift this one up. Like that. Right. Right. You can sort of see it. That's kind of, I think that's kind of working. I think that's going to work. Okay. Very cool. I'm saving this. Well, it's going to take a second to save it, but right now it's worth it because if it crashes, I lose all the stuff I worked on. So it's worth doing. And this is a big file. It takes a while to save. There we go. All right, let's. There we go. This is what they call wireframe mode. Looks crazy, but it really is helpful. Like that. Like this. There we go. I want to raise it up a little bit. Raise it up just a smudge. Get it off there. Okay. So I am going to do the arrow that's going to point this way. But before I do that, I want to make sure this is going to like end up looking like paint. Let's get rid of this guy right there. All right, get rid of that guy. Okay. Ooh. So let's delete the ends. So, not that people want to know this. It's not really a thing you need to know in life. Okay, but when you build splines in 3ds Max, it puts these little things here, and you want to get rid of them. You want to make everything out of squares like this. So, consider yourself happy that you don't need to know that in life, because it affects all of us 3D people. Boom, 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 boom. Remove. I think I got them all. It's just a thing. When you build everything out of boxes, 3D printers like it. All software programs like it, and they don't like these intersecting things sometimes. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, you see these empty spaces here? I'm going to put vertices there, because when I make it into like painty kind of a thing, I'm going to want detail there, and I'm going to put them there. Even if I have to do it by hand, I'm going to put it there. Like that, right? It's just something you want to do. And a lot of 3D stuff is tedious. It is what it is. It's just nature of the beast. Certain things have to be done certain ways. There are plugins like you would use for others for 3D software that help things go faster, but it's not always, you can't always find the perfect plugin. And a lot of these big companies, they write their own plugins. You see, there's a guy right there. They write their own plugins, and so they got cool shit, right? So small guys have to do it with what you buy at the store, with whatever comes with the software. There we go. It is working. So when I take it back into into the 3D program, I'm going to smush it. And I'm going to make it look like it's paint. And let's hope that works too. I think it'll work. This stuff will go away. This kind of weirdness, this weird bending things, that'll go away. The other question too is that I have to make sure that the thickness of the paint of this word is different than the thickness of the paint of the Welcome to Atlanta, because when you 3D print it, you want to be able to read both, right? So you want to really be mindful of that kind of a thing. And it's all hand done. 3D is all hand done. I don't know. Oh, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. I don't know if people think the 3D is like a thing that does it itself or whatever. I build everything in 3D. So I don't buy things, right? So everybody does it their own way, however they want to do it. I'll build a car before I buy one. And I'll build it in a very rudimentary way, to be honest. Well, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the subdivide in another one. Right. So, most people wouldn't know that 3D is this time consuming, and it is not an easy way to do things. If you spent your career drawing, let's say you're Jack Kirby or John Byrne or somebody like that, I mean, you're just gonna your ability to draw a car is way faster than it is to buy a 3D one and trace it or whatever, how people do it, right? It's way faster. I think that's been proven pretty easily. So when people get on 3D, I'm like, that's pretty fucking lame. You don't even know what you're talking about. And at the end of the day, all that really matters is that is what people like when they see it, the final product. To me, that is the only standard. And if people don't like artwork based and done a certain way, they don't buy it, And you don't know if you don't like it until it's actually been done and you see it, right? People can scorn doing it this way or that way, but to me, it's like you got to do it. You don't even know if you're gonna like it or not. I mean, some of the AI stuff I think is pretty cool looking. It's missing certain things, but some of it is not missing. It's really neat. And sometimes people will actually. I bet you people will be writers will end up doing their books in AI, right? So then they don't have to pay an artist to do it. But it's a trade-off because then now you have to sit there and hope that people like it, right? People might look at the AI thing and go, "This looks dumb." This has no soul to it, or I've seen this 1,000 times, So I think when people do things by hand, you end up, I think the viewer recognizes there's craft involved, right? And I think that is inspiring for people to look at. That's how I feel about it. When I see a really great piece of artwork or a comic book or that I really like the artwork, I'm very inspired. And I relate to the fact that person who did it worked their ass off to do it. So we'll see, But some of the AI stuff is pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a thing that they're doing, which is visualizing the world of Tolkien in AI, and it is pretty neat. I'm gonna just say it's very limited in the way that it looks, but I'm telling you, I thought it was pretty freaking cool and pretty fun to see it. Because a lot of times when people do Tolkien stuff, they will end up copying the way certain people have done it in the past, and then you only get like a certain thing, if you know what I mean. Everybody's derivative of Hildebrandt or Frank Frazetta or something, Okay, there we go. There's Terminus text. I'm going to save this because it's worth saving, because if I don't save it and that crash, I'm totally screwed. Those shoes, you can see those shoes at the top there. Those took at least a day to make those shoes. Stuff like that, I'm going to just say, is deceptively hard to make. Things like guns are like, you look at them and you're like, whoa, this is, I mean, they're not just boxes. You get in there and you see that it's very complicated. All right, here we go. I'm going into Mudbox. I'm gonna lock this. So the only thing I can affect is the text. Okay, is this gonna work? We don't know. I'm gonna do this right now. Like that. Maybe have it go like that. Okay. Here it goes, nothing. So in Mudbox, which is a cool program, you can add a layer. So anything I do on this layer up here on the right, you'll see that I can delete it later. So if I do this, and then I can go like this, I can phase it back down, or I can, since it's on a layer, I can erase it, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty neat. It's one of the big bonuses of 3D. Okay. So how am I gonna do this? that's not good. That's not going to work. Okay. Let me just, here's a brush called Foamy. I wonder what Foamy does. I've never used Foamy. So let's see what it does. I mean, okay, stop. There we go. I mean, I don't think that does anything that I like. I'm going to erase it. Right? Okay. Well, the ends are going to be punched up. Right? This is where the spray paint would build up. All right, so I can do those and start making it look like it. And it will be the other end, wouldn't it? Be right over here. Like that. Make this thinner. Yeah, just like that. This might actually work. All right. Make it a little thicker. Make it phase out. No. Dang. Right. This is... I'll tell you what. Let's do this, this, this. There we go. Maybe that's better. Too much, too much. Oh, the undo takes forever. All right, it's too much. That's better. Way better. Way more natural. Right? I bet you this, I can bump this one up. Maybe a thick and thin will add some dimension to it. I think that's probably going to be okay. And it goes right on top, which is good, which is kind of what I want. Right? There you go. You know what? That's a little too high. Bring it down. That's gonna have to be a thing I live with. I'm sure he wouldn't like that really. But what are you gonna do? It's only 3D. There we go. Starting to look pretty good. I think that's probably starting to work, right? I mean, I didn't think it would work. Something like that. I wish, right, that's too much. Like that. Something like that. Thin this out. Right, like that. I like that. I think that is actually working. Now here's the deal. Can I flatten it out to make it look like paint? I don't think I can. I think that's too much, but I'm gonna try. First of all, let's select it. Save it. I'm gonna see if I can retopologize it. I doubt I can. It's gonna tell me I can't. Watch, it won't do it. It'll say can't do it. It'll give me crazy stuff. So right now, if you're watching, what I'm doing is taking that geometry I made there, the terminus, and I'm going to make a brand new version of it where all the vertices are laid out smooth. And there I did it. Fuck. Wow, it did it. There we go. Let's delete one of them. And the reason I did it was because I want to see if I could smush it and make it look like it's kind of more painty, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't completely look that way, but that is the challenge. Like that, right? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's working. Right? That looks like more like it's inky. Like it's made of ink. Like that. I don't know if that's working. Oh wow, look at that. It's all bumped up. Right? I don't even know if that works. Undo. It's too big. There. I don't know. I think that works pretty good, considering, right? Right? Like that. That's pretty good looking. I think that's pretty fucking good. I'm gonna say it out loud. Whatever I was expecting, that's better than I expected. Save that. Hide the original one. Fuck, it's 3:30 already? Shit! Time flies when you're cooking. Alright. Let's hide the original. Let's bring in the new one. There we go. You know, that's pretty good. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's make it, let's color it. And let's just take a gander at what it looks like. Question is that enough? Is that enough bump? I might have to bump that up higher so that when you 3D print it, you don't lose it. You know what I'm saying?